So we are Caleb and Jessica Anderson.
Indeed.
We
We
are.
are. We've been married 9-ish months now.
Yep.
And we were kind of slackers and haven't been doing our journaling, so we decided to do a video journal.
Yep. Go modern.
Yeah.
Technology.
Stuff. Even though by the time this gets looked at by anybody, this will be like ghetto and they'll be all in like 3D and
It'll be awesome though.
be like ancient history.
Oh.
Like old people, gray hair.
Crazy.
Anyway, we thought that it would be good to tell about how we met, even though it's not very exciting, but it's still something that should be recorded. And yeah. So, we met at Snow College, first of all. And before my mission, I went to Snow College for who knows what reason. Basically because they gave me an $800 scholarship, and that ended the decision. I didn't even apply to places like BYU or UVU. I didn't even, Snow was the only place I even considered. And no, I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know, none of my family had gone there that I knew of. Now I know that my grandma graduated from there and whatnot, and Pete did. But anyway, but yeah, it was just one of those decisions that I just came home and told my mom I was going to Snow. She said, okay. So I went to Snow for a year. At that time, I was dating Brittany Galbraith. And then I went on my mission to South Korea. And Travis and I, he was not my roommate, but my roommate's good friend. And Travis had a roommate that had a very serious girlfriend, and they only had 2 people in his room. So they quickly booted him out of the dorm often.
And she moved in.
Yeah, and she basically moved in, and he moved into my place because I had an extra bed. So he slept over at my place quite a few times, and that's how we got to be really good friends. But we left on our missions, I think a week after each other, and he went to South Africa, I went to South Korea, and then we got home on the exact same day. But previous to that, on our missions, we were writing each other, like, we wrote probably 3 letters to each other. But my mom and his mom were really good friends. And so they started, talking about rooming and whatnot. And my mom and his mom both asked us, like, would it be, would you enjoy rooming with Travis, or would you like rooming with Caleb? And both of us wrote back and said, that'd be great, that'd be really fun, but we're going to decline and say no because we wouldn't get anything done and it would be too much fun. Both of us said that. But lo and behold, we got to Snow College and we were in the same room, and it was insane. But we were, yeah, he's probably my best friend, male friend. At this point in time. But yeah, so we roomed together at Snow after my mission, and it was just a house called The Roost. So if we refer to The Roost, it was just our house, and we ended up all getting married, all of us, all, like 6 of us. Yeah, how did you get there?
Well, I was kind of like Caleb. I applied to UVU and Snow. And Snow offered me a full tuition scholarship, so I was like, heck yes. And so I went there with my 2 best friends at the time, Jessica Janes and Courtney Johnson. And we roomed with 3 other girls, and it was interesting. We had a lot of fun though, and I, dated around, and then so the next year my scholarship continued, and so I decided to go down there. And me and Jessica actually moved to a different apartment complex, but we were still roommates. And Jessica's a music major, and so she was always in the music building, and that. What?
Boy.
Oh yeah. So I was dating a man. I was dating this kid named Josh, and we had started dating, I don't know, a little while after the school year started, but basically he was a bum. He wanted to be a musician, and he really had no idea what he was doing with his life, but and stuff, and like he was a liar face, and
How so?
he told me he went on a mission, but really he was only like there for 2 months, and then he came home because he didn't want to be there. So just all these different things, and so after a while I was kind of like, I don't want to be with him anymore, and so
So around this time,
yeah.
Jessica Jane started dating Travis.
Well, they weren't dating.
Well, they weren't dating, but they were around.
Yeah.
We were
Travis
around
was
them
a
lot,
music
yeah.
major too, and
And
so
so
they
they-
were both
yeah.
in the music building. They had a lot
all
of
the
classes together. They both really liked each other.
Yeah, so Jessica Jane started hanging out with me and Travis, because me and Travis, no one could really hang out with us individually, because we came out from missions at the exact same time, started moving together. Like, it was very difficult for us to separate, and like.
They became companions.
Oh, for sure, it was really awkward. But like we went to our first date, like our first dance, and before missions we were way into dancing, and so we're like, oh, this is gonna be easy, and we get there and it is just so awkward. We cannot even like do anything. And so we're like, okay, one dance, and so we wait for a slow song, go grab a random girl, dance, try not to mention our missions, because we talked about it all the time, and then after we were done, gave each other high fives, and we were out of there. Considered that success. But in our ward, we started. We thought, like, my dad had given us a rotisserie for chickens, and so we're like, okay, that's cool. Let's make chicken and such things for girls and have them come over to our house. Like, genius. So the first week we just went to church and like randomly, hey, like we don't know you, but you guys should come over, and your apartment should come over. Next thing we know, there's 8 girls there, and just me and Travis, and it was really awkward. But yeah, after the first one, we're like, wow, we should probably invite guys over. They kind of looked at each other and they're like, why? There's no reason. So we continued that for weeks, like pretty much the whole first semester and into the second. We did that like every week with our roommates and a random room of girls. Got to know girls through that. Not you.
Nope.
But Jessica James became a common one to become. Travis and Jessica started going at. And then you got jealous.
I was jealous. Because it was towards, it was when me and Josh were still dating, but I wanted to break up with him, and Jessica was spending all this time with Travis and Caleb, and I was like, I want to go have fun. And so I was a little jealous that she got to go hang out with these cool guys that were pretty cute.
RMs.
Yeah, RMs, real RMs. And stuff, and so when did we first
When did we first? So I had my eye on Jessica for a long time, and I started dating the girls and just randomly as they came and left, and people in the ward and whatnot. But whenever I date somebody, it was like like I'd always compare him to like Jessica, because I'd seen her and we'd hung out. Josh had always been there, but we'd hang out and like play games, and like I was pretty infatuated. But Travis and I would just sit there at night talking about girls and like yeah, she was good, but like so they'd have to do better than Jessica because she's kind of the top notch right now. And so Travis knew that I was well interested in Jessica, and he'd come home with reports from
Jessica
from
James.
Jessica James on her status, and so one day Jessica and Travis had a date planned with Jessica and Josh. And that day, Jessica dumped Josh, so they couldn't do the group date thing, and so it got canceled. So Travis was on my phone because he didn't have a phone, so he always used mine. So he was on my phone and talking to Jessica. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay." Hangs up the phone. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "You're going on the date?" He's like, "No, it's canceled because Jessica Brown, she dumped, or she broke up. We didn't know if she had dumped or he had dumped. She broke up with her boyfriend." And immediately, like, I kind of like stopped there, stunned. It was like, "And you didn't invite them over?" And so Travis immediately realized his mistake and called back. I don't know if he called or texted, but that was a Saturday, and we invited them over, had lunch, hung out all day, had dinner, and yeah, we pretty much saw each other every day.
Yeah.
After that, I saw her every day. She didn't always see me.
He was a stalker.
For sure.
But when I broke up with Josh on a Friday, and we had the date thing scheduled for Saturday. And so Friday night, I felt way bad because Jessica was so excited to go on this date. And so I felt bad, and I was like, oh, I don't know who to ask, or like to ask another guy. And one of my first thoughts was like, oh, I could ask Caleb. But then I decided I didn't want people to judge me as, break up with your boyfriend and the next day you have a new one.
See, we didn't know how to play it because we didn't know if you had broken up with him or he'd broken up with you, and so we wanted to be like comforting, but at the same time forward, but at the same time not too forward, but know our intention. And this is we, meaning Travis and I, because this is both of us heavily involved in this. But we were both adamant on getting you as my girlfriend.
And so Travis and a bunch of them and Caleb and them had started doing Frisbee, like ultimate Frisbee, Saturday mornings. So that was the first morning that I went over there, and then the rest of the day we hung out.
We made sure to keep on doing things.
Yeah. I think Caleb decided to stake himself out in the library. He was at the same spot every day, and so...
That was wise. That was very wise.
It was, because
Anybody?
I went there once, and I saw him, and I was like, oh. And I went there again, and he was there again. So I started going to the library a lot more.
Yeah, that was my plan. Previous to Jessica, I stuck myself in the same spot in the library, pretty open. When you came in, you knew, you saw me immediately, and anybody who wanted to talk to me could immediately go there. So I spent all day in the library, whether I needed to or not. I was just there because there was nothing at home.
Yeah.
It was I just sit in the library and do my homework, watch movies, just like talk to people.
So that worked out well.
Yeah.
Definitely had some. I remember that wasn't one of the first, but when we first started meeting at the library, Caleb, it was just me and Caleb there. All of a sudden he started asking me all these questions like, what are you doing with your life? What's your plan? Where are you going to go to school? And all this stuff, and kind of took me off guard. And I got home and I was telling Jessica, and I was like, I just feel like I got interrogated. He was asking me all these like deep questions.
Had to know. I was like, are you serious about life? But yeah, and on Sundays we were in the same ward, so she'd always come to my class because that was another strategic thing. I made sure I was teaching every week, and I actually ended up getting my own class so that I could teach every week. I don't think that's allowed anymore.
Yeah.
But I convinced him to give me my own Preach My Gospel class, and now I was teaching every week, and she could come. People who wanted to see me could come.
Yeah.
And
He's a good teacher too.
Yeah, not really, but.
And he was
that's okay.
attractive.
That's more true. But, and then, so we had to figure out something to do on Sundays, because, you know, you have that whole awkward, like, you can't date, but you're just gonna, like, hang out, so, like, what do you do? So, I had my 98 Camaro, and we started driving.
He's trying to teach me how to drive a stick.
Yeah, because it was a 6-speed, and it was a pretty difficult car to drive, just because it was kind of a racing car. But
I still don't know how very well.
But that was a good opportunity
was.
for us, because we had a lot of good conversations about, like, our relationship and how things were doing and whatnot.
One big thing is that Caleb was actually planning on transferring to Utah State after the first semester. And that was a huge thing for me the whole time, because I'd go home and tell Jessica that I really liked him, but I was trying not to because he was just going to leave, and, you know, who knows what would happen. I'd probably never see him again. And
I do the same thing. I go home to Travis, like, oh, like, this is nice, but I'm just going to leave. But then we both pause, like, who cares? Keep going, full force. That means we have to go faster. That was pretty evil.
But, oh, we didn't even tell him. The first, like, we went on was it like our second official date? Caleb asked me to the snowball, which is like the little formal institute dance that was there. And so
I played my cards well.
Way excited.
That's where we first held hands, I believe.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
used the
plan.
crowd method, because when you're in a crowd, you can justify physical touch a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like leading them along. Like, oh, let's go get water. Grab, go.
Yep. And then our way home, he made us walk so we wouldn't take his car. And so we were walking, and
That was well thought out.
he's a planner. He knows what he's doing. And so he had to find a way to get us away from the group, and so he was taking an astronomy class. And so he's like, here, I want to show you the stars.
Look at that one.
And
Look at
so
that.
he's pointing out, was it Sirius? I
Serious,
think?
yeah.
And I just reached down and grabbed my hand, and that whole night me and Jessica were just screaming because I was so excited.
Yeah, so you break the physical barrier with the little touches, and so that leads to
Yeah,
being able to. That was good.
it was good.
Yeah.
And then we just went on a bunch of dates. We went and looked at stars a lot through
Yeah.
the telescope. That was pretty awesome. And then, so him transferring. So that was always a big issue, and I was way worried, and he would always talk about trying to find housing, and
Yeah, and it was a pretty difficult, because I wanted to stay at Snow, but there was just no way. I couldn't take enough credits to justify it. You could only take like 9 credits at Snow, and because I was done. And there was no way I could stay, and that was pretty much it. And then one day I was going in the business building, and I randomly saw this sign, and it said, take USU classes at Snow. And my eyes kind of perked up. I was like, is that possible? Is it really possible? And so I wrote down the phone number and the email address on the poster, and immediately went in the car, and when I turned the car on, the song Kajima was playing in my Korean CD. Kajima means don't go. It's like, Kajima.
It was a sign.
It was a sign. So I was like, I can't go. That was it. So I waited to tell people, but like, cause to make sure it was solidified. But by the time I told Jessica, it was
Yeah.
solidified.
And so there was a 60s dance, I think. And so Travis and Jessica and Caleb and I and Janelle. How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
We decided to hurry, and we dressed up in all these crazy things. Caleb was wearing like a mullet wig and this awesome silver suit. But so we were at the dance, and we were doing a slow dance, and Caleb started talking about USU and stuff, and I was just like, and then I asked him to be polite. I really didn't want to talk about it, but I asked him, I was like, have you found housing yet? And he was like, yeah, I did. I was so sad. You have no idea. And so I was like, oh, well, where are you staying? And all of a sudden he was like, I'm staying at the Roost. And I freaked out, and I jumped on him and was screaming and told him if he was joking I was going to kill him.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, so that was definitely a happy day.
Yeah.
Decided to stay.
That pretty much, I mean, we weren't really serious, like we were seriously dating, but we weren't official until
Yeah.
pretty much then. And then we had the whole semester to kind of take it slow and date, and that was pretty much how we met.
Yep.
And we'll talk about how we got engaged sometime else.
Yep.
But that was it. It was exciting.
It was very exciting.
I mean, it wasn't like crazy insane like my parents' story, but
Yeah.
it was
It's a good
solid.
story.
Yeah. Thank you.
That. Okay. Save the rest for another day.
Mm-hmm.